Episode 1 of His and Hers begins in Georgia's National Forest. It's raining and a woman is dying while lying on top of a car. We then cut to Anna, a journalist rushing home. She's frantic as she clears out her place and her face is swollen from an infected tooth. She believes that even when there are two sides to a story, someone is always lying. Next we meet Jack, a cop and a doting dad who loves his kid Meg. They live with his sister, Zoe. Jack and his partner Priya head to the woods as the dead body is called in. He mentors Priya here, reiterating that hunches don't matter and to solely focus on facts. When they find the dead woman, he declares that she was cheating as she has a wedding ring and was stabbed multiple times. He's quite controlling as he wants to be the one to tell her husband and kicks out anyone who is not needed at the crime scene. He also wants to be the first one to go through her phone when they find it. Now back in Atlanta, Anna sticks to meds as she has no time to fix her tooth. She returns to work after a year and is upset that her TV anchoring role has been given to Lexi Jones, a pretty blonde white woman. Now her boss, Jim, is sympathetic, insisting that it's nothing to do with Anna's skin colour. It seems that she disappeared for a year after losing her child. Now Anna claims she can reinvent herself and suggests covering the murder of a white woman in a small southern town, Dahlonega. Jim is hesitant but agrees to one story, and to spite Lexi, Anna takes her husband, Richard Jones, as the cameraman. Now Anna shows up at the crime scene but stays back while the rest of the reporters badger Jack and Priya with questions. When Jack shuts everyone down, Anna asks if he knew the victim. He's shocked to see her and runs off, much to Priya's confusion. Now Richard and Anna go back to the hotel and he's curious about her question as well. She's evasive and instead banters with him. She susses out that he's insecure in his celebrity marriage with Lexi. They flirt and laugh while Jack watches them from outside. Now once they disappear, Jack sweet talks the hotel manager who knows him and gets Anna's room number. He wants to talk to Anna and is upset on hearing her having sex with Richard. He keeps knocking on the door and then leaves. Now Anna spots him anyway and grumbles about him stalking her. Richard wonders what's going on and she reveals that Jack is actually her husband. Now as she drives off, Jack asks Priya to run a background check on Richard and goes after Anna. She's currently on a call with Jim and she lies about her progress. She arrives at her family home and has a tearful reunion with her mother, Alice. Jack shows up and Anna is annoyed with him. However, Jack has been looking after Alice as she has memory problems. Anna is shocked and upset that her mother refuses to go to a doctor. Now back to the elephant in the room for now, Jack wants Anna to drop the case. She latches on to his fear and gets him to reveal that the woman murdered is her friend Rachel Hopkins. He requests her to keep it a secret and she promises to do so. We also learn that Jack lost his Atlanta job last year while trying to find Anna and he hates that he's stuck in Dahlonega. She mocks him and he retaliates by bringing up Richard, which has her storming off. Jack leaves and checks in at the morgue. The autopsy shows that Rachel was stabbed 40 times with a small knife. Her red painted nails have been destroyed and there are no defensive wounds, which means she knew the killer. Now a man also had sex with her and Dr. Turner believes that that man is the killer. As for Anna, she goes through her old belongings and finds a handycam. The tape in it is of her sweet 16 birthday party.
That's a surprise tool that can help us later.
It shows her, Rachel, Zoe, Helen and Catherine together. Rachel is painting Catherine's nails red. Later they go to some old ruins in the woods, and Anna also finds a homemade friendship bracelet. At that moment, Dr. Turner finds a similar bracelet in Rachel's mouth. Jack and Priya go to the Hopkinses to inform them of what's happening. They find it odd that Mr. Hopkins hasn't reported his wife missing. Now we see at this point that he's rich and lives in a huge house. No one answers the door, but someone watches the two detectives from the window. Jack goes home and is upset to see that he missed his kid's soccer practice. On top of that, the news shows Anna reporting that Rachel Hopkins has been murdered. Jack is furious while Anna looks smug. We then see a flashback to the beginning of the episode. Jack is having sex with Rachel in his car, but her car is just ahead of his. And as we see, Anna is watching them from afar. Episode 2 begins with Anna going through her old friends' social media. She sees a photo of Meg with Jack, and right then a furious Jack barges in, calling her out for being selfish and exposing Rachel's name. He's also jealous about Richard and blames her for their estrangement. She wonders if he would have stayed faithful if she had asked, and they realise it's a moot point. They agree to coexist, but she is still her pushy self. Now at the morgue, Dr. Turner shows the bracelet to the cops and Jack recognises that Zoe had one. Turner also wants his DNA swab to rule out his DNA from the crime scene and he deflects. Next, Priya and Jack finally get in touch with Duffy Hopkins. Now, Duffy is strangely open here, revealing that he's impotent and had an open marriage with Rachel. She slept with men and women and enjoyed belittling her hookups who were all strangers. He suggests that she was too mean and her current boyfriend probably snapped. Priya seems to agree, and this irks Jack. They go through Duffy's CCTV and see Rachel leaving while on call. He then goes to walk his dog in the rain and returns. He lets slip that Anna visited him that morning and he told her that Helen may know of the boyfriend. Jack is annoyed and tries to get in touch with Helen, who doesn't take his calls. To keep Priya in the dark, he has her look around on a hunch and shuts her down when she brings up his past advice. Now right then, he finds Rachel's phone in his car. Duffy has been calling it to drain its battery, despite the cops warning him not to. We see that he's doing it on the behest of Helen. As the cops leave, Jack ends up lashing out as Priya insists on the boyfriend theory. She reasons that the boyfriend must have stabbed 40 times to throw off the cops and taken Rachel's nails to hide his DNA. Upset, he lets slip that Helen knows him and Anna is his wife. So as not to run into Anna, Jack refuses to visit Helen, who is now the headmistress of St. Hilary's, the girls' old private school. As Anna makes her way, she updates Jim, but we see Jim assuring Lexi that Anna is not a threat anymore. Lexi doesn't agree, and she sees Anna flirting with Richard in the B-roll footage. Now at the school, we get a flashback of Anna getting in with a scholarship. Now Alice works as a cleaner for Rachel and asks her to befriend Anna, but Rachel, Zoe and Helen laugh and mock Anna. Back in the present, Helen meets Anna and they are vicious. Anna wants someone to go on record to confirm that Jack is Rachel's lover and Helen toys with her. She brings up Anna's dead kid and wonders if a 20-year-old secret is about to be exposed. Hannah points out that Rachel, who knew her secret, is now dead. Now at the precinct, Jack has Priya get Duffy's phone records. Alone, Jack cancels the trace on Rachel's phone and tries to unlock it. Priya interrupts though, reminding him of his DNA swab. He continues to call Helen while heading home to get Zoe's DNA. She's out and he gets Meg's DNA instead. We also learn that Meg is actually Zoe's kid, but she's an absent mum. At the same time, Anna is outside. She watches them and tears up. In a flashback, Jack and a pregnant Anna are buying a house and celebrating, but back in the present, Zoe spots her and flips her off. Duffy keeps calling Rachel's phone and Priya notices a pattern. Elsewhere, Anna checks with her mother. Alice is now lucid and upset that Jack told Anna of the dementia. She wanted to tell Anna, but she disappeared. As she cooks eggshells and Anna looks worried. She doesn't want to leave Alice, but she gets a call from Jim that Lexi's gone missing and he wants her to cover the news. Anna agrees and is unable to promise Alice when she'll return. Meanwhile, Duffy contacts Helen as well, wanting to get out of their arrangement. Now Helen is upset and crying while looking at Rachel's photo. To top it off, Priya finds a boot print at the crime scene, which happens to be the same as Jack's. Jack heads to the morgue and submits his DNA, but when the assistant mortician is distracted, Jack uses Face ID on Rachel's corpse to unlock her phone. He quickly deletes his messages with her, and he spots Helen's text talking about C blackmailing Rachel for money. Helen doesn't want to be involved, but Rachel says it's too late. She asks if Rachel has dumped Jack and he's shocked that Helen knows. Now at the end of the episode, Helen calls the precinct and asks for Sheriff Barnes. Episode 3 of His and Hers begins with Anna stating that people don't change. In a high school flashback, Rachel, Helen and Zoe make fun of Catherine. They find it odd that Catherine has such a cool sister, while she herself is an outcast. Now Anna tries to be nice and invites Catherine to their table for lunch. Rachel tricks Catherine into drinking a Coke mixed with her piss, and Catherine is furious and blames Anna. Back in the present, Jim is annoyed that Lexi has ditched last minute and agrees to reconsider giving Anna the job back. At home, Jack goes through Rachel's text with Helen and is surprised to see them making fun of him. There's also a video of Rachel and Helen engaging in BDSM play with Duffy. It looks like this is a video that Helen didn't want anyone seeing, as it would ruin her reputation. Right then, Meg runs in to call him for dinner. Zoe is rude with Meg and sends her away to confront Jack about Rachel's murder. It turns out, Meg told her about the DNA swab. The siblings fight as they call the other irresponsible, before Jack insists that he didn't kill Rachel. Elsewhere, Priya submits her and Duffy's DNA at the morgue. The mortician mentions Jack's visit and how he was looking for his wedding ring, and Priya is surprised as he doesn't actually wear one. At the network studio, Lexi shows up right before airtime, claiming she was babysitting for her sister-in-law. Jim lets her kick Anna out, who is humiliated. That night, Jack is on his way to question Helen. Priya calls to update him though that Duffy kept calling Rachel and Helen. And of course there's a boot print of size 10 at the crime scene. It's definitely not Duffy's since he wears size 11. She also asks about Jack's wedding ring and he rambles on how she should focus on tailing Duffy. She drops it, but we see that Jack is a suspect on her personal investigation board. Meanwhile, a neighbour spots Jack and tells him that Helen is still at school. He breaks in via the chapel when she doesn't answer, and he doesn't find anything though and eventually leaves. As for Priya, she follows Duffy and sees him dumping the BDSM gear. Jack goes to the supermarket to buy plastic bags and spots Richard there buying bleach and a hammer. Upon seeing Jack, a petty Richard buys condoms. Jack's pretty annoyed, and as he revisits the crime scene with covered feet, he recalls the final hookup he had with Rachel. She mocks Anna and he gets aggressive, and she scratches his face in retaliation. At present, Jack runs into Coach Willie, who looks after the cemetery nearby. As they catch up, Willie mentions CCTV. They go through it and spot a hooded figure in front of a gravestone while a car passes by. Now the murder happened on the 2nd of September, and Jack realises at this point that it was Anna at Charlotte's grave for their death anniversary. Now Anna is driving back to Dahlonega when a song plays on the radio. She starts crying as it triggers a memory. Jack is singing the song to their crying kid, and she's not feeling well and they need to go out. They leave her with Alice. Back in the present, Anna sulks in a hotel room and Richard gives her company. They try to rationalise Lexi's motives, but Anna learns there is no sister-in-law to babysit for. She wonders if Lexi meant her sister, but Richard reveals that her sister is actually dead. Now Anna wallows in self-pity, wondering if she is allowed to do bad things because bad things happen to her. Meanwhile, Alice gets worse. Jack finds her wandering around naked on the streets, and once she's lucid, he begs her to get help. However, she'd rather die in an accident than lose herself. She begs him to reconcile with Anna as he still loves her. Emboldened, he texts Anna, but she doesn't reply. The next morning, he gets the call that Helen has been murdered. He rushes over to the school, where he finds Anna is already there, and she smiles as she greets him. Episode 4 of His and Hers begins with Anna reporting that there is a serial killer. She then narrates that the most dangerous thing that humans are capable of is lying. Back in the present, Jack questions Anna. She claims that Helen wanted to meet at 7 AM and she found Helen's body, filmed it and called the cops 45 minutes later. Frustrated, Jack outright asks her for her alibi for Rachel's murder. She's evasive and he wonders if she's also responsible for the other murders. Now Priya has also completed her background check and tells Jack that Richard broke a woman's jaw and was charged with battery assault. Jack wants to warn Anna, but she leaves so he threatens Richard instead. Jim calls Anna to share that the network is happy with her, but he pushes her to get more exclusives so she can solidify her position. In an act of desperation, she agrees. She ends up convincing the mayor to hold a televised press conference with a Q&A with the residents. Jack thinks it's a bad idea, but no one actually listens to him. Now back to the case. Helen actually got a phone call at midnight, but she was already dead. Her eyes are stapled shut, and there's a word, liar, on her forehead. The same bracelet is in her mouth, but it looks brand new. Jack rifles through Zoe's belongings and finds the same bracelet. She reveals that Anna had made them for their friend group, and he realises that it was sexual, and Zoe confirms that Rachel was interested in Anna. Now a high school flashback shows Rachel gifting Anna a bra and taking her photo in it. They invite Catherine and give her a makeover. Rachel claims the piss drink was a fake prank and wants a do-over. Catherine believes her, but Zoe and Helen both smirk. Now back in the present, Anna learns of Alice's midnight incident and worries for her. She wants to help and Alice finally agrees. Meanwhile, Priya is following up on Helen's midnight phone call when she learns Jack cancelled the trace on Rachel's phone. Confused, she requests Rachel's phone records as well. Before the press conference, Richard checks in on Anna and they have a sweet moment as he teases her for carrying a gun. During the event, Jack is heckled and he simply storms off. Anna pretends to calm the crowd down, but ends up targeting Zoe. A brawl breaks out and she winds up smirking. Jim loves the footage when Lexi suddenly announces she's going to Dahlonega. Now back in town, Zoe confronts Anna for stirring trouble and tries to lean into the serial killer persona that's being thrown at her. Anna scares her instead by warning her. Suspicious, Zoe wonders if their secret has something to do with the whole thing. Now Richard is impressed with Anna and wants to hang out with her as a result. However, she leaves as she decides to finally talk to Jack. Instead, Lexi shows up and has Richard film an exclusive with Duffy. The grieving husband even offers a monetary reward for tips, making Let's exclusive a hit. Richard tries to confront her for stealing Anna's spotlight, and she says it's revenge for going after her things, and she hooks up with Richard. That night, Priya finds a group photo in a yearbook. Anna is wearing the bracelet and sitting with Helen, Zoe and Rachel. On top of that, the mortician calls Priya because Jack's DNA sample is cross-contaminated. Elsewhere, Jack and Anna finally meet. She accepts that she was in the woods and saw Rachel and Jack hook up. He insists he didn't kill Rachel and that the affair didn't actually mean anything. Anna scoffs and they fight over her leaving. She seemingly blames him a little for their kid's death, as he wanted everything to be perfect, to the point that he passed off Charlotte's cry of pain as being fussy. And when she died, he wanted Anna to mourn with him in his own way. She left though because she felt empty. She felt like Jack was taking Charlotte away again by not letting her grieve in her way. He apologises, and in turn she apologises for abandoning him. They end up kissing and hooking up, but in the end, Anna spaces out. Episode 5 of His and Hers begins with Anna and Jack being awkward after the hookup. He still believes she's hiding something regarding the murders and wants her to come clean. As for Anna, she narrates that she's not someone to let go of anger. Instead, anger is what gets her up in the morning. A Duffy's offer reward has led to the tip line getting spammed. Sheriff Barnes wants answers, and Jack insists he's close to nabbing Duffy as the killer. Now Priya throws a wrench in his plans though by targeting Anna. She mentions Anna's career revival following Rachel's murder, the friendship bracelet, and how the victims didn't fight the killer. Jack gets upset and defensive, but Barnes allows Priya to chase this theory. Desperate to stop Priya, Jack doubles down on Duffy. He confronts Duffy with Rachel's phone, and Jack thinks C is Duffy Clyde, and he blackmailed the women because of the BDSM video. He reasons that Duffy killed Rachel because he hated her for belittling him. Duffy then found out about Helen trying to confess to Sheriff Barnes and killed her too. Duffy simply laughs incredulously and reveals that he knows Jay is Jack, wondering if he's actually the killer. This shakes Jack up and he spirals, blindly looking at leads from the tip line. He hits a jackpot though when an old hookup reveals that he went with Rachel to Lux 11 in Atlanta on May 18th. She had been slapped by someone while he waited outside. Meanwhile, Priya questions Anna. Anna is a little too honest, claiming she was never close with Rachel, Helen or Zoe. And yes, she broke into the school the day she found Helen's body, as they knew how to jimmy the lock open. Later, Priya watches as Zoe arrives at the station to argue with Jack. Zoe is scared that she's the next victim and Jack is confused. A frantic Zoe rambles that Helen and Rachel often bullied Anna and she was a bystander. But something bad happened on Anna's Sweet 16 and that Anna may still be holding a grudge. Right then, Jack gets intel that Richard lives in Lux 11. He disregards Zoe's fear and rushes to confront Richard. He finds a cameraman at a bar and demands the truth. Now Richard claims he was out the country on May 11th and his assault charge is actually self-defense. Lexi had a female stalker who ended up attacking him. Jack doesn't buy it and Richard provokes him by mentioning rough sex with Anna. Furious, Jack beats him up. And at the precinct, Priya shows Zoe their old group photo. Zoe offhandedly mentions that Catherine took the photo, and Priya is surprised that there's a fifth friend and she finds Catherine A. Kelly in the yearbook. Now back at the bar, Anna arrives but to defend Jack. She threatens to reveal their affair to Lexi if Richard presses charges. Richard gives in, but their dynamic is undoubtedly tense. That night with Meg at a sleepover, a paranoid Zoe gets high, locks her house and takes a bath to calm herself down. Right when she gets comfortable, someone jumps her. Now Priya finally gets Rachel's phone records and sees constant calls from Duffy, Helen and Jack. She also looks up Catherine and sees an obituary for Andrea Kelly, who happens to be Catherine's sister. Now back at the hotel, some woman cancels Richard and Anna's room reservation. Richard offers his in-laws his lake house and Anna gives in. The route looks familiar and Anna recalls a memory. It's her Sweet 16 and the girls go to some ruins in the woods. Catherine is scared, but Anna keeps reassuring her. Now Rachel invites 3 boys and they get Anna and Catherine drunk. Rachel calls dibs on Anna and the boys rape Catherine. All the while, Zoe, Helen and Rachel laugh. That present, Jack goes home to find Zoe murdered in the bathtub. Once Richard brings Anna to the lake house, he claims it was Lexi's idea. Anna is uncomfortable and tries to leave, but there are no taxis due to a storm brewing. Inside, she finds a hammer and bleach and gets weirded out further. Now Richard claims Lexi just wants to bury the hatchet. While he makes himself at home, Anna sees family photos. Lexi is actually a Kelly. There's an obituary for Andrea Kelly, and there are photos of Catherine graduating and losing weight. Andrea is blonde, while Lexi's wedding photo shows she is actually a brunette like Catherine. A shocked Anna then realises that Lexi is actually Catherine. Episode 6 of His and Hers begins with Anna narrating that if you're going to do something, do it well. This goes for the killing too. Now in a flashback, we see the Kellys at the lake house. Their older child, Andrea, is a mean girl, bullying Catherine. Now Catherine goes by Lexi at this point as her middle name is Alexis. They are going on a boat ride and Lexi empties Andrea's inhaler. Andrea ends up suffocating to death in the middle of the lake. Now back in the present, Anna sends Jack her location and calls him. He's crying over Zoe but straightens up when Anna says Lexi and Richard are the killers. Unfortunately, Richard overhears and is furious. He rants that Anna is a manipulator who ruins people's lives for their own gain. He gets menacing and Anna grabs her gun. She empties it without hurting him, but luckily she's able to lock him in the cellar. Right then, Lexi arrives and is furious that Anna tried to hurt her husband, so she attacks Anna. Now back in town, Priya stops Jack from going after Anna. She wants answers and calls back up, but Jack knocks her out. Now Anna and Lexi get physical while this is going on, because Lexi blames Anna for Rachel's bullying and the Sweet 16 attack. Unable to convince her that she didn't know of Rachel's games, Anna flips her over a glass table. Jack is on his way to the lake house and Priya is following him with backup. She gets a call from Sheriff Barnes. The Duffy has confessed that Lexi told Rachel of Andrea's death, and later Rachel and Helen blackmailed Lexi about it. This is why Lexi slapped Rachel. We then cut to Lexi grabbing Anna's gun, which is empty of course, and pulling the trigger. Jack and Priya arrive at the same time, and Jack puts himself in front of Anna while Priya kills Lexi. The cops then find Rachel's nails and the murder weapon at the lake house, and Richard is arrested as an accomplice. Sheriff Barnes remembers Lexi crying in public and celebrating in private after Andrea had died. Now Anna tells Jack all about Lexi's attack at her Sweet 16 and apologises for not telling him sooner. Now Priya feels guilty about killing a technically unarmed Lexi, and Jack assures her that she will be okay. At this point we jump forward 1 year. Anna is pregnant with Jack's kid and is back as a TV anchor. According to Richard's lawyer, he never meant to kill Anna, and he and Lexi simply wanted to pin the murders on her. Now Anna is suing him and his people want to settle. Her new agent scares Jim and the network into giving her a good contract. Meg accepts her and Alice's family, and Anna has also hired a nurse to look after Alice. Jack, Anna and Meg visit Charlotte's grave and then visit Alice. While Jack and Alice play with Meg, Anna sees a letter from her mother. Now everything that Anna has been narrating throughout the show, talking about lies, anger and murder, is all in Alice's letter. Now as we see, Alice is the real killer and she confesses via the letter. Now flashbacks show that Charlotte dies of crib death, and when Anna runs away, Alice watches her old tapes to feel closer to her. Soon she gets to the Sweet 16 tape. The boys don't actually rape Catherine here, and Anna drops her handycam, which is still recording, to push them off Catherine. The boys decide to rape Anna instead, and Anna begs Catherine to help, but the latter runs off. Now Helen, Zoe and Rachel just laugh. Now another flashback shows Catherine being mean to Alice, who used to be her maid. When Lexi takes Anna's job, Alice instantly recognises her. Now Alice visits Charlotte's grave often, and that's how she learns of Rachel and Jack's affair. On Charlotte's death anniversary, Alice sees Anna return and spots Jack and Rachel. Then and there she decides to avenge Anna. She pretends to have memory problems, so she slashes Rachel's tyre, kills her, ditches her clothes and pretends to be a senile woman. This brings Anna home to her. As a former cleaner, she has keys to most places, like the school and Zoe's house. She kills Helen to help reconcile Jack and Anna, and she kills Zoe to give Anna a child, that being Meg. She frames all the murders so that it looks like Lexi is the killer, and she never meant Lexi to die, but to be imprisoned for abandoning Anna. This is why she plants Rachel's nails and murder weapons at Lexi's lake house. She also cancelled the hotel reservation, sure that Jack would save Anna from Lexi and Richard at the lake house. However, she doesn't care that Priya killed Lexi. Now Alice ends the letter by hoping Anna loves her children the way she loves Anna. Anna's face turns from shock to a smirk once she processes that her mother actually set out to avenge her. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.